his latest haircut. So that's he's a narcissist.
Exactly, yes.
Because it was excessive in my eyes. So I could label you. Boom, you're a narcissist now too. And so
the point is like that. If someone gives me something and it doesn't improve the situation, that thing is nonsense. So the fact that I say now he's the narcissist, did I actually improve the situation?
No, you didn't improve the situation.
Did I make it worse?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, why? Because now I don't take responsibility because he's a narcissist. The narcissism is responsible for your condition. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it doesn't solve the problem.
You understand? Yeah. So it's really a very, it's an excuse with a degree.
Okay.
It's excuse that backed up by some kind of a degree, some kind of a psychologist or psychiatrist or psychopath or whatever, same thing. So
I mean, one of the things. Sorry, go ahead, Azaad.
So basically, I mean, when a person at the gym looks at himself excessively for about 5 minutes, to the inconvenience of others, and
what does it mean, the inconvenience of others?
So, like, if he's taking up the space the whole time, and other people want to come in.
So if let's say someone would come to me and take the space the whole time, what do you think? And I would say, "Oh, it's narcissist. It's inconvenient. I will take him and I will move him and I will show him that this is not a problem." If I'm useless, if I'm an ant, then I will sit down and I will say he's a narcissist. But if I'm a person that not afraid of his own shadow, he's standing too much in front of the mirror. So first of all, probably he looks good, and I'll tell him, "Look, you look amazing."
Yeah.
But the mirror already broken, so move.
Okay.
And I'll explain to him nicely that he will move. Do you think he will not move if I'll come to him?
Move.
Of course, because I'm not useless.
Okay.
So I will come to him. He will move. Do you think that someone can come to me and tell me you are doing something excessively or not? I will get in communication, understand what's going on, and I will handle it. Useless people will say, "Oh, he's a narcissist," and sit in the hall. No, I will not sit in my hall. I will stand up. I'm not an ant. I would stand up, and if I need to move him, I'll move him. He's not a narcissist. He's just not in present time. He's just stuck. He's just stuck, like it's happened to many people.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't say that's, no, what I was saying is that you cannot diagnose a person a narcissist just by him standing in front of a mirror and and looking at himself.
So how do you diagnose him? Do you have any test?
So personally, I can't diagnose because I'm not a psychologist.
No, but let's say that take the best psychologist in the world. Does he have any blood test?
I wouldn't say a blood test, but he has to meet the criteria.
So
9 different traits.
So tell me the one of the.
I'm just going to go through.
Let's see.
Here, I actually saved what you posted, Azaad. So, for example, these are the common male narcissistic traits, right? That you had posted in a male, right? And just as what I got when I read it is, it's just so broad that it almost
nonsense. Anyone that I want, I can put. I saw it.
Fall into.
So give me some, Gali.
Yeah. So control issues. You have it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So this is common male narcissistic traits,
so let's
right?
see.
Okay. So number one, they say it's perfectionism, control issues.
Good. What does it mean, perfectionism?
Is when you try to be the best at something.
So what's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
So that's making so what, you want to take something that's wonderful? I want something to be perfect and then I'm bad.
No.
So what from now on I'm going to tell my children, when I have more children, I'll tell them my next child, because they're already perfect, it's too late. But my new child, I will tell him, listen, I don't want you to be perfect because otherwise you're a narcissist.
Okay, but perfectionism to a fault.
What does it mean to a fault? Explain to me.
Where where you actually become,
like what?
You are so obsessed over being perfect, where you don't forgive yourself.
You don't forgive yourself.
Yeah.
So how do you know that the person don't forgive himself?
I mean,
how do you know that? How does a psychologist talk to me and tell me that I'm perfectionist to a fault or to half fault?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about that.
I'm just reading the symptoms. But you understand, it's nonsense, because perfection is. Yes. Okay. Let's look.
Okay, that's nonsense. So the second one is control issues, where they like to control people.
Let's define the word control. What does control mean?
Where they want to take charge of another person's thoughts.
So if I'm taking charge of my control, the guy that Rudolph, Waldorf, what's the name of the guy in the jail? Waldorf.
Who? in jail?
Madoff.
Oh, Bernie Madoff. Yeah. Oh,
Bernie
the
Madoff
Wall
was
Street
in
guy.
control of his company. Was he in control? He was in charge of his company. Was he in control? Not. He lost a lot of money.
But like in this case where
so what does it mean control?
Where the opinions of others don't matter to you.
Once again, so if the opinion of others not happen to me, I have a control issue?
No, it doesn't mean that.
So what does it mean control? Define for me the word control.
So where you control other people around.
No, you cannot tell me car is a car.
Okay.
What is control? You cannot explain to me control by the word control.
Okay, so let's just give an example of
define, not example.
Okay.
You see, if you know the definition of the word, you don't need an example.
Okay.
Because the dictionary don't give you an example; it gives you the definition. Because the dictionary knows the definition.
Yeah.
So if someone said there is a control issue, what does it mean? Control means the ability to start, change, and stop. If I can start a car, change a car, and stop the car, I'm in control of the car. Okay. If I can start a thought, change a thought, and stop a thought, I'm in control of the thought. Yes. If I can start my wife, change my wife, and stop my wife, I am a magician.
Okay.
Yes.
So to start, change, or to stop.
And stop. Yes. Okay. So most of the people have many cycles. They start, change, and didn't stop. So in that case, every single person I know is a narcissist.
Okay.
You understand? So what does it mean, control issue?
Yeah. So the next one would be pathological lying.
Okay. So how do you decide that someone lie all the time?
So the thing is...
So you've been with someone all the time and you know he's non-stop lying?
So a person is a liar when he's caught out to be a liar. He may tell me something now.
Every person that I know lying at least 20 times per day.
Okay.
So when is it becoming pathological? 21?
So I don't know when it becomes pathological.
So what does it mean, pathological liar? You understand? There's no definition. It's nonsense.
It's like excessive. It's like saying excessive.
Exactly. It's nonsense.
So they don't give you a number.
Because it's not scientific. It's a pseudoscience. Okay. It's not a science. Science is something measurable. When there is no measurement, when you start to think, I feel like he's ADHD, I feel he's narcissist, you're talking about voodoo. It's better to go and work some kind of a stone and start to pray to the stone. It's better. It's more sensible than coming up with a few things that no one agree on the definition. These guys don't know the definition. The guys that say that. If I take any psychologist, and I've tried, and ask them what's the definition of the word control, they don't know.
Really?
They don't know. They'll give you an example, but they don't know what the definition of the word control. And when I tell him, so he's a pathological liar. When a person becomes a pathological liar, who do you know that you can tell exactly how many lies is done per day?
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. No one, because
the lie can be convincing.
And what's it from your viewpoint is a lie. This is his viewpoint, maybe. Yeah. And so who defined what is a lie? And the word fact means just the current
opinion of the majority.
The current opinion of the majority. And what was a lie 200 years ago today is truth. And the first person that said that there is 8 planets, the church burned him on the stake because it was a lie, because he was a liar. He had excessive lying. So I think something. So who define what? Because what's the problem? What's the whole thing about science? Science came to remove all of these artificial beliefs. It basically come and say the job of science is to remove superstition, and this is just a superstition in the guise. It's dressed like a science. But it's superstition. It's nonsense. Nonsense.
What I want to say, can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
I think that one of what's important to realize for the viewer, and also I think Azaad as well, and anyone really watching, is the point here is that it's just too broad that it makes it so easy to label any schmo as a narcissist because of your little opinion. So you put these blanket statements that are not with any value or measure, and then basically anybody has the right to go around and label. but it doesn't solve the problem, and so it gets worse and worse. Somebody here says narcissistic personality disorder.
And the word diagnose mean not having an opinion. Imagine there's a doctor that come to you and say, I feel like you have a heart attack. And I feel like you have cancer. I diagnose you with cancer because why? Because I see that you talk a lot. Or because I see that you don't talk for quite a while. I think you have cancer. Or I think that you have bladder issue. Or I think that it's nonsense. Any doctor that will say that they diagnose without measurement is nonsense. So if someone says that lack of empathy, lack from whose viewpoint? How much is lack? 7, 70, 76? It's nonsense.
What about nothing at all? No empathy at all?
Show me how do you measure empathy.
I don't know how.
So there's no measurement. So it's nonsense. Define the word empathy. Never mind how much. Define it.
Feeling what other people feel.
Okay, so
feeling the emotions of other people.
So let's say that that's empathy. Feeling the emotion of other people. So you can tell me what I feel.
Able to feel what you feel.
No. Once again, I'm the narcissist. You think that I'm narcissist, and you say you have no empathy, zero.
Okay.
And how do you know that? How do you know how much I feel what other people have?
By your actions.
So my action. So empathy is not then what I feel. It's my action.
But what you feel.
No. One second. If empathy, you told me, is what I feel. Now the definition changed. So empathy is something that I feel that causes specific actions. What are the actions?
So let's just say, for example.
But one second, do you understand?
No, I understand what you're saying.
So that's not the definition then.
Yeah. Okay.
And actions. Let's say action. Which actions? And how do I know that this action is correct in this situation? It is nonsense beyond belief. It's just opinion. And every person have two things, opinion and one more thing. Yes, nonsense.
Okay.
So somebody here asked, are all labels opinions?
Of course. If it's not measurable, it's opinion. And if it's measurable, then it's becoming a fact. And even a fact, it's the current majority agreement.
Yeah, so if I broke my arm, it's not a label, it's a measurable thing. You can x-ray, you can see it. That's not a label.
I can take a tape measure and see this thing move from here to here. It's broken. I can do an x-ray and I can see it. Can you show me any x-ray, any blood test, any EKG, any MRI, anything that shows narcissism or that shows a lack of empathy?
Okay.
Or that show attention deficit disorder. I'll tell you a story about attention deficit disorder. Okay? So this is a true story. A few years ago, I went to a school in Israel, the worst school in Israel, the worst. And I was planning to do some kind of a plan there to improve the education. And the guy, the headmaster, is a friend of the family, and I know him for many years because I was born in that city. So I spoke to him and I said, what's the problem? And he told me, the problem is that the families are in this area are destroyed and the children have big emotional problem. I said, okay, that sounds good. What kind of a problem? They say, well, they have attention deficit disorder. And say, okay, fine, I want to understand attention deficit disorder, which means they cannot put the attention for a long time on something. Yes, they say, he told me they have lack of attention. I said, wonderful. I didn't ask him what is lack. And he said, okay, fine, no problem. Bring me the worst guy. So he brought the worst guy, Ben. And I said, look, we're going to test him. I have a test to check if the guy have attention deficit disorder or not. So I put Ben on my laptop and I had a test. And I told Ben, because I'm going to do a test for you, but but this test is got to do with speed. So in order to make sure that your fingers are moving fast, I'm going to let you play Tetris for 15 minutes. And within 15 minutes, you learn how to use the keyboard, and then we'll do the test. And they asked the headmaster say yes. And Ben started to play with the Tetris, and I spoke to the headmaster. After about 15 minutes, I called Ben. I said, hey, Ben. And Ben didn't answer me. So I said, tell me, why is he not answering? He said, well, he's concentrated in the game. I said, didn't you say that he has attention deficit disorder?
So the opposite happened.
It's nonsense. It's not. He has a problem to concentrate with the stupid teacher that doesn't know how to teach.
Yeah.
Fix the teacher, and all of a sudden he will be able to concentrate.
Yeah.
It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's just an excuse not to find the real source of the problem. It's just an excuse not to find the real source of the problem and then give some kind of a drug that will destroy this guy. By the way, whoever every 2 years when they sit and vote for the diseases, the pharmaceutical company that hosts this event get the contracts to develop the drugs for the thing they just voted on.
Yeah.
It's just totally nonsense. Yeah.
I want to go through a few of the questions here, but Azaad, I had a question. Go ahead, ask what you wanted to ask, and then we'll go through a few of the rapid fire way.
No, it's fine. You can carry on with the questions.
Okay, I love that earlier Bridget said, does Azaad know what he's walking into?
No, I had no idea. I'm here to learn.
Yeah. I won't.
Yeah.
You didn't warn me.
No, I did through Gal. I said to Gal, hey, listen, does he know that I'm going to?
You knew a little. We talked about it, Azaad. You said, I'm ready.
I'm going to get mints today, so I'm like, later on, I'm here to learn. That's it.
So a couple of, without going too, because there's so many questions, we'll just kind of rapid fire, yes, no, very simple answers. But the question here is, doesn't it help to use labels sometimes through the right diagnosis?
If someone has a heart attack, and I can see on an EEG that he has a heart attack, yes, I'll put a label. He has a heart attack. If the guy has stage 4 cancer, and I can measure it by doing blood cell count, yeah, wonderful. Put a label. As far as I'm concerned, put it on a neon sign. I don't care. But if I feel that the guy is sick, and if you go to 6 different doctors and everyone feels something else, and what I'm telling you is like that, every psychiatrist will give you a different definition, a different diagnosis. It's nonsense. It's just total nonsense.
How does one measure a mental disorder? Because it's not in their blood.
Because mental, you just got it. If it's not in the blood, why will anyone take any kind of pills for mental disorder?
Because it's not in the blood.
So how can you take a pill for that? Like
it's in the brain.
One second, the brain has blood in it. So do you think that the problem is in the brain? Do you think that the problem is physical then?
I wouldn't say it's.
What does it mean? What's the word mental mean?
Okay, I don't know the definition of mental.
So, but it's not physical. You know that mentally sick mean not physically sick.
Yes, I agree.
So if it's not physically sick, why do you fix the physical thing that's called the brain?
I'm not sure. That's
do you understand? So we don't need to be a doctor. You just need to be able to observe. If the problem is with the light here, and the light shine on me, and because now the light's not working and it's not shining on me, and now I'm going to fix this body, it would be stupid.
You need to fix the light.
Okay, that's the mental, that's the spirit. This is the brain. So to fix the brain or the body is level of stupidity beyond stupidity. I don't.
So somebody here
actually giving a compliment when I say it's stupid.
Okay.
But somebody here said recent studies have shown that people with NPD, which is narcissistic personality disorder, have reduced gray matter volume in areas of the brain related to empathy.
Okay, so in that case, first of all, it's nonsense because I'll show you studies to here and to there. It's nonsense. But let's say that it is. So now it means that the way to diagnose a person like that is not by those definitions, but to see what's happening with this gray matter. But this gray matter gets reduced in many other systems. So how do you know that it's that? It's nonsense. It's nonsense.
Okay, so Mitch here got it quite right. He said, it seems to me the utility of this conversation is in pointing out that psychology isn't scientific, with which I agree, and more so the diagnosis can be harmful and the DSM is highly problematic. Yeah.
It's not problematic, it's a cheating.
Yeah.
It's cheating. It's just cheating. It's just
a way to sell more pharmaceuticals.
How do I know? How do I know? Because I can show you videos of psychiatrists that says we don't cure anything.
Yeah.
We don't try to cure. So if you don't try to cure, what do? You destroy them.
Yeah.
What do? Why do I need you?
Yeah.
If I'll come to you and I said, look, I come to your business and I'm a business coach and I'm not fixing anything. I'm just telling you what's wrong and make it worse because I'm going to give you some drugs so you'll be high most of the day.
I'm going to get destroyed.
Of course, that's what's happening. If you don't...
Yeah, the higher the use of pharmaceutical drugs, the worse people get.
The big thing is that people think that because someone has a degree, he knows something. No, because someone has a degree, it's only mean that he can sit in his ass long enough in a specific education place, and he can parrot, if he didn't cheat, he can parrot some answers. Now, how do I know that it's true? Because you went to school and you don't remember 5% of what you went to school. So do you think that if you went to university, you do remember? No, it's nonsense. You get a degree for nothing. Now, unfortunately...
So Banu's asking, without using the label narcissist, how can we handle a person who is covert or manipulative or selfish?
You fix yourself and you stop blaming others. You don't fix him, you fix you and everyone else get fixed. Stop finding fault and start taking responsibility. What happened with this narcissism is just taking a whole society and teaching them that they are useless and they find fault. And you are not okay, and you are not okay, and you are not okay, and you are not okay. And actually, it's me that's not okay because I see in others who is me. How do I know it's nonsense? Because this is one person and you take 5 people that looking at that same person and they will have different viewpoint about him. So the problem is not the person, the problem is the observer. So if I go to a person, he become honey and wonderful and willing and he will help me and he will do anything for me. And someone else will say, no, he's narcissist. No, fix yourself and you will stop being narcissist. The problem is never in the other side. And that's the hard bullet to chew. You don't need to fix them. Fix yourself, everything will be okay. So instead of finding faults, improve yourself. Stop crying about how everyone make you an effect. Stop crying how he is bad and he is bad and he is bad and your condition is going down, 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 down. And you'll see that if you start to improve your condition, the magic is that everyone improve around you. You see that the worse the person is, the more critical he is, the more he's very easily going on Facebook and Instagram and find fault and find fault and find fault. And when you ask this guy, tell me, what are you doing? He say, well, I'm a homeless. But he finds fault with you that doing business or whatever, or is saying something.
Yeah. It's like a taxi driver that say about everything. So
the answer is like that. If the guy finding fault, he's wrong. The guy that finds fault with others is wrong. It's basically doing that. God will help me to explain how can I blame you at my stupidity? 3 fingers towards me. That's really what it is.
Very powerful. Very. So Azaad, go ahead.
What?
A person that's sadistic, that likes to cause people pain. What about murderers? What about psychopaths?
Not a problem.
Serial killers. They have narcissistic traits.
No. You've got a killer. A killer has a statistic. There's a body. Okay. A sadistic person has a statistic. Cuts on your body. Okay. So this is something that I can measure. He's done something specific, and I don't need to call him narcissistic because it doesn't solve the problem.
Okay.
He is a killer. To say that he has a narcissistic thing, what does it help? It's like saying, and he has blue eyes. What's the connection? It's nonsense.
So if I'm the victim, or if someone's the victim, And if that person's getting abused by the killer or by the psychopath,
fix the guy. Do you think that someone can be sadistic towards me?
So fix the victim.
Yeah, fix me. Do you think that someone can be sadistic towards me?
No,
Try to be sadistic towards me, and before you say, "Hey, you'll be in the grave crying for air." What do you think someone will even think of?
But what if the perpetrator is much bigger and physically stronger than the victim?
So-
Because they
so
always
what?
choose weak victims.
Okay, so I'll tell you a
Victims
story.
are not younger.
A few weeks ago, I was in a dancing, and there was this guy, Russian guy, that has a body of a refrigerator and a head of an oven, and he was maybe 20, 25. I'm 60, and he was big and strong. And he tried for no reason. I did nothing. Basically, I was dancing, and he came and he tried to pick me up. Before he knew, he was on the floor, and my hand was here, and he couldn't breathe. So it's nothing to do with the size or with nothing. It's got to do with me. I will die, but not let him do something for me. I will not cry. I'm not useless.
So we need to fix the weak people of society.
We need to fix people. And you fix them by getting them stop crying. If they stop crying, if the society at large will not say, I'm victim, I'm victim, I'm a victim, no one will victimize them. In an area where no one is a victim, like in an area, you go to a place where everyone is very strong. You go to the Israeli army, and you go to the best unit, and do you think that someone will come and victimize them?
No, they won't.
Before they will talk, they will be cut to 77 pieces. So no one even need to come to them.
But then we don't have a society where every single person, all of the 7 billion people are strong people.
No. We had a society where everyone was strong, where they went to the frontiers and they went to the open and they built countries when there was nothing. Today, you have people that sitting in front of a computer in an air-conditioned room, and they need to click and double-click and say, "Oh, I'm working so hard." Yeah. No, there is an education that everyone is useless, so everyone become useless. So every other useless people attack them, and they say, "Oh, he's stronger than me." He's not stronger than you. You are useless.
Okay, but what about, let's say, a guy that's 40 years old and he has a lot of muscles and he's big, he's strong, and then he wants to victimize a little child?
It will not happen if the family, the society will not agree to that.
But what if you have a society where it's very fatherless?
Change the society. Don't change this guy because you change this guy, you change him. There will be another 60,000.
Okay, but the problem is now, and you have
not a problem. So not a problem. So if you have a murderer, we're putting him in jail. If you have someone like this, you go to the police, and the police take him. But that's not a solve. This is like take a Panado. This is take an Advil.
Exactly.
It doesn't solve the problem.
Damaging the person.
It's not solving anything. Okay. The solution is to improve people.
Okay, but
to stop with this nonsense of everyone is victim.
Okay.
So it's not that he is narcissist. It is I'm useless.
Okay, so the child is useless because the child can't defend themselves against a stronger man.
The child is useless and his family is useless, and this society has this viewpoint of, oh, he's a narcissist, and because he's a narcissist, everything is okay, and I'm a victim.
I also think with a child,
if the viewpoint will change from I'm a victim to no. For sure, if he's a murderer, if he's doing something, we'll take him out. But generally, we don't accept it, and when the society do not accept. If you go to your mosque, you go to synagogue, do you think that someone can come in and do something against because the group do not exist, do not agree?
No, they won't. But then what if you have a situation where you have a mother that only has 2 daughters, she doesn't have a male protector, her husband died in battle?
But if the society, if the group...
But we don't have strong societies.
No, so that's why I'm saying. The problem is not the narcissist. The solution is not to invent words or labels. The solution is to take the society and improve it.
Okay.
Because it's easy to improve the society. You improve the society by saying, okay, no more being a victim. No more. Yes, if there is 2% that needs help, we'll give them a hand. But the general idea is not, I'm not going to give you food. I'm going to give you a food for a week or 2, but you're going to study how to make food.
But the problem is now, we have a problem now where the society is broken. So what you're saying, it would be a more, I would say like a 10-year plan or a
change of mind is like that. Boom. If you sit today, you're sitting there, you will never say again about someone a narcissist because you know it's an insult to you. It's an insult to you. It's mean if someone will come to me and say, I would never say, he's a narcissist, that's why it's happened to me. No, I would say I'm useless. I'm going to improve myself. And this guy, I will fix him too.
Okay, so there's no solution in fixing the perpetrator in terms of, not just a narcissist, but a criminal in general.
Of course, but if it was helping, you'll have less jail, less criminality, less violent, less stupidity. It's not the handling. The handling is not to take someone and put him in jail. It's okay to take it as a panado, as a painkiller, but it's not solving the problem. The source of the problem is to fix the society, the thing that there are narcissists, that there is ADHD, and no. If a person cannot study, fix the teacher. Why the teacher don't teach?
But also,
do you think that someone will come to me and he will not learn?
Yeah, but I think that the one thing to say here is you do fix the perpetrator. You do fix the person you've labeled as a narcissist when you realize that you are the person who's caused. When you realize you are strong, not weak. When you're weak, you run for the hills. When you're strong, you handle the person.
Okay.
Yeah, the point is that really the whole viewpoint in society of we are just victims and we're working hard and we're double clicking and it's very hard and we cannot and I'm useless and the more useless you are, the more admiration you get, excessive admiration. The more useless you are, the more you get money from the government. The more useless you are, the more everyone helping you. And when you're successful, everyone attack you. Change the viewpoint of society. And take those people and say, okay, fine, I'll help you, but you need to get off your ass and bring some results. Stop crying.
Okay, let me ask something here. So
how do we help?
Go ahead, Azaad. Go ahead.
How do we help the perpetrator, the criminal, the psychopath? Because they don't have a physical problem; they have a mental problem. And I
think that 99% of people don't have that problem. It's us that blaming that have the problem.
Okay.
The problem is not with the guys that we blame. The problem is with us, because if I take a person and I don't have this option of saying he's a narcissist, immediately I will improve automatically, and he's not a narcissist. It's just I'm blaming him.
Okay.
So this thing of blaming other people and saying they are narcissists, it doesn't solve the problem. It makes the situation worse. How do we solve it? First of all, every person needs to understand that you need to improve yourself. Okay. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing in GP. That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why I'm doing these lives. That's why I'm teaching people, because we need to improve people. That's number one. And the general message should be for everyone, enough with the crime. More or less at the age of 4 or 5, you need to stop with the crime. Maybe 6. Enough with the crying, enough with being stuck in the past, enough with being useless. This is a group, or a society of generally, the more useless you are, the better you are, kind of thing. People cannot hold a job for more than a year. I'm looking for people, and like the average person cannot hold a job more than a year. Like if he hold a job for a year, he's a genius. People are generally just a victim. And I ask them, why do you leave? Why do you leave? Oh, it was very hard. Oh, my boss was not nice to me. And no one said, no, I was not a producer. Because if someone come to me, to an average company, 90% of the company, if I'm a super producer, the boss will go and lick your feet just to stay. He will do anything, just stay. So enough with the uselessness. That's basically the message. If the people will, if the education, if the group will not accept the uselessness, the victimizing, if we will stop excessively admiring the useless, everything will be good. And narcissism is just another deterioration where psychiatry and other stupid people come and say, well, now we're giving you a diagnosis. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a list. And every single person, I'll read that list, and he says, yes, he has a problem with excessive control. Tell me the definition of the word control. Well, I don't know what control means. What do I need to know? So it's like you say, it has an excessive chaka-chuka. Same thing. Nonsense.
Okay. So you say that that narcissistic personality disorder doesn't exist.
Nonsense.
Okay.
Total nonsense. It's like I could come and I said, there's a disorder that called Jalaguba. What is Jalaguba? People that worry a lot, and also people that eat too much, generally after 9, excessive eating after 10, and
but that's exactly it. It's so broadly, it's so broad and so fit all, and it's a word that nobody can define what it means. And when they try to define narcissism, the words within the words they use, they have no idea what it means. Define empathy, define control.
And when they define it, they don't define it. The parroting was something that they heard that they don't understand.
So they label someone with something.
Parrots that's repeating what they hear.
Yeah. So what about a whole lot of people, let's say 10 people, and you do a case study on 10 people and they all were in abusive relationships, abusive marriages, and there's always common denominators in all of these relationships.
What's the common denominator?
So, for example, as I mentioned before, at the beginning, they idealize them, they make them their everything, then they devalue them, and then they discard them.
Now, I can tell you that I help a lot of couples and a lot of business partner. There is not one relationship that don't go through this.
Okay.
Idealize you. Oh, she's a blonde. She's so beautiful. Then the next thing that happened, I start to find fault with her, and then I discard her. So every single person that I know is narcissist, but from both sides. Because when I see a husband and wife fighting, if I take the wife's side, he is narcissist. If I take the husband's side, she is narcissist.
Okay.
Did you see any situation where it is like, oh, I idealize him, I'm still idealizing him, but he started to, no, she has at least as big baggage as he has on her. I never found just one side have a massive baggage.
So let's say you take one person and he does this to all different types of people for their whole lives, up until their 50s, up until their 60s. Wouldn't there be something wrong with them?
No.
Wouldn't they need therapy?
No.
So it's okay for him to do that to many people and break hearts and leave a trail of disaster?
No. It's to fix those people that become useless. Because
so all of them are useless and that person's fine.
And he's useless too.
He's also useless.
Of course.
So how do we help him?
We don't need to help him. We need to help them. There's 60 people that get damaged, and they blame one person. Okay. If I look at these 60 people, they have another 60,000 times that it happened to them.
Okay. Oh, okay. From previous relationships.
From other relationship. But I didn't find one beaten woman or beaten man that didn't have before that some other kind of beaten relationship, or some kind of she beat someone, or there is always the same trail of thing happening with other people.
Okay.
So it's not, because it's got nothing to do with nothing. It's not that he caused 60 people. Yeah, maybe, because if you look at him, but if you look at any one of those 60 people, each one of them had another 6,000 times that it happened to them.
So what you're saying
so it's not that he's narcissist, because I didn't see one relationship, and I'm handling lots of relationships, that if I will look from the side, I will not be able to call this guy narcissist. I will be able to call him suppressive. I will be able to call him stupid. I will be able to put him fraud. I will be able to call him whatever. Nonsense. What does it help me that I called him? What does it help that I called him? It's like, generally in arguments, when you argue with someone scientifically about facts, everything is okay. And if the guy loses on fact, he starts to attack you personally. He will call you narcissist. He will call you this. He will call you that. He will attack you personally. Yeah. So when someone calls someone else narcissist, it's just because he failed with the facts. So now we give him I have a name, narcissist. I was so lucky. I just was looking the internet and I found this word, and it's excellent for me. Now I have. Before that, he just called me
into it too. So basically, you're saying that an abusive man, as an example, or a woman, for example, would never survive in a society of Spartans, because Sparta was strong and amazing. An abuser would never live there. So in a society that's strong, when people are able, there's the others don't survive. So you need to strengthen the society.
Don't go there. Just go to a kibbutz in Israel, and it will not happen. Or go to a frontier where someone start a new business or something. It will not happen. Or go to a war area in Ukraine right now. Do you think that some of the Ukraine soldiers says, no, he's narcissist? Oh, it's difficult. No, come on. They're fighting for their life. So only when you live in a society that the government feed you, the government give you, everyone around you say, oh, you poor, useless man, I'll give you. No, in this kind of a society, you create useless people. No, it's total nonsense.
So one more question, sort of on, I know we're running low on time here. It was a long part. Anna earlier was saying this is going to be part 1 of 10. But basically, and by the way, sorry for some of the people we haven't replied to in the comments, but we also, if you listen to this again, you'll see a lot of it was covered. There was a lot of gems in here. But Azaad, you were telling me that there was somebody that you met, a woman, right? And she was eventually started to, at the beginning, would give you lots of love. And then all of a sudden it flipped, wasn't getting back to you, was finding fault with you, was doing these types of things. And forget about the label of a narcissist, because anyone can fall within that label. But somebody's doing these characteristics. I'm asking now, Meir, somebody's first is really nice, and then they flip the script on you. How do you handle a person like that?
So first of all, I'm willing to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. So this person, if he's behaving in a way that is not right, I will tell him, look, so I see it's happening, and I want to help you. What have you done? And he said, what are you talking about? What have I done? Yeah, so what are you hiding from me? And I ask him only 2 questions. What have you done? What you hide from me? And if he wants to be helped, he will answer, and I will help him. And if he doesn't want to be helped, he can I'll find my worst enemy, and I'll convince that lady to go to him, and I'll give her an Uber as well. But it will not affect me. Because she wants to go and kill children. No, that's not a good example. She wants to go and torment other guys. I'll find which guy I really don't like, and I will recommend him highly. I will close her on him.
Okay.
Send her to the competition.
Send her to the competition, yes.
Yeah. So in other words,
it will not affect me, because so she has a problem, not me. She's not coming back to me.
Yeah, her loss.
Not a loss. It's like, okay, thank you very much for letting me know. Wonderful. You don't want? Not a problem. This, let's say, 9 billion people, 4 billion women more or less, or 5 billion women. What's the problem? Is there a shortage of women? No. Actually, they said there's more women than men. So especially in Cape Town. Not a problem. Thank you very much. Sayonara. So why is it even a problem? I don't understand.
So the first time we spoke about it, Gal, it was like about a few months ago, and we spoke about other people that were in these abusive relationships. And I mentioned that there's some people out there that have taken 5 years to heal, 6 years to heal.
Dramatization, like a big drama.
Yeah, so I just want to know, like, what's the solution there? Because you said that this person...
Stop being a victim.
Didn't do something right.
Stop being... What do you mean 6 years to... Let's say she left me. What did I have any scars? What does it take 6 years? Why do I need all this drama? She left, end of cycle, next, thank you very much. Hello. There is another cycle. If she's so bad, why do I have a scar? You said that she's narcissist. She's bad. Why do I have a scar? If she's bad, what's the problem? Why do I have a scar? I don't understand. If someone is sick, let's say this guy is sick, and he's about to die, yes? Why do I have a scar exactly? He went through an operation. Where's my scars? Why should I have a scar? Why should I hold this thing for 5 years?
No, but let's say, but if that person, yes, they have the issue. So why does it affect you? But let's say that they didn't physically stab you, but they made fun of you, they belittled you,
They will never make fun of me. The first time that they will try to make fun of me, if I'm not useless, they will be in their place.
Of course, true. Now, so what would be a tip for somebody who wasn't strong at the beginning, didn't put them in their place. They felt emotional abuse, let's say, and now the average person, it takes years to get over emotional abuse. What would be your solution to tell the person?
Stop the lie of I have an emotional abuse. Like, come on, fine, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, fine. But after a month more or less, you'll get over it and start producing. Stop sitting and crying. It's just an excuse not to produce, not to be a contributing, valuable person to society. Stop with the excuse, stop with the crying, and move your ass, start to produce, go out, find other people, and the next person that it's happened, don't let it happen. When it happens, stop, come to me, and we'll fix that person if he's important for you. And if not, just get very good at telling no. You don't want? Sayonara. You don't behave like that. You don't. A group or a person that agree with small crime will agree to big crimes. So don't agree with the small crime, and you will not have big crime. So it's not the narcissist problem, it's your problem that you agreed with the small crime, and you agreed with another crime, and you agreed with another crime because you were not ethical, because you wanted something from that person that you say he wanted something from you. Otherwise, you wouldn't agree. So it's a lie. It's a lie. Don't agree to small crimes, you will not experience big crime. Someone will come to me and not talk to me nice. Do you understand that it will not take more than 10 seconds that he will be not breathing?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Do you think that I will allow a lady or a man or a prime minister or God to come and talk to me not nice? No way. Like, what am I, useless?
Amazing, amazing. So in the interest, first of all, this was great, but Azaad, did you have anything else you wanted to ask, add, question, etc.?
I mean, by the benefit of all of this, what I do know is that, and of course, listening to what Mr. Meir Ezra had to say here, is that the lesson learned is that whenever we experience any sort of abuse, we need to run, like, immediately. Just don't allow it. Don't accept it from the early stages.
Don't run.
Handle it.
Yeah.
Don't run. Don't run away. Run into it.
Yeah. Okay. Like, so if someone will come to me and talk to me not nice, first of all, it will not affect me. Second, I will put him down and I will give him the look. I don't need to do anything. I'll give him the look, and he will become pale. He will die just from the look.
Sure, I would want to be that person.
Because, like, why? Because I'm willing to die for my integrity, instead of blaming other people.
I wish we had a society where more people thought like this, where they're actually willing to give their lives up for their integrity. And we've been societally conditioned to become weak, many of us, and the whole victim mentality. So I think we need more people like this, and you're probably like the top 0 point.
We need more people like you that willing to learn and change their minds, and then don't go and spread nonsense. Instead of that, you say, okay, fine, let's spread something that actually help people. Something that help people is to make them more powerful, more smart, more able, not to agree that someone, like if my son will come to me and say to me, oh, Daddy, I'm weak. No way. What do you mean I'm weak? No. You are the most powerful thing in the universe. You are spirit. A spirit is the most powerful thing in the universe. And the spirit feels that it's weak because it needs to work 20 hours? Like, what happened?
I think people who allow these types of abuses are normally people that are empathetic, that are very soft emotionally. So they actually need to toughen up.
No, those people are that don't have enough problem, so they invite problem to their life, and they cannot bring pro-survival problem, like let's create the next business, let's help more people, let's do something good. So they create problems in a low level. Oh, let's be hurt, let's get hurt.
Let's cry.
Let's cry. Yes, this is it's just the inviting problem because they don't have enough problem. How do I know? Because you take any person that has a big problem. Let's say someone has a big problem with a narcissistic person, and now I shoot him. Do you understand that the narcissistic person become a no problem at that moment? If you have a narcissistic relationship,
meaning, hold on, you meaning, wait, I don't know if that was clear. Let's say that, Azaad, you have a problem with a narcissist, and somebody comes and shoots you in the leg. You are not thinking about the narcissist.
shoot you with a gun.
You don't worry about the narcissist.
You think what will be in your mind? What will go through your mind? The bullet or the narcissistic person?
The bullet, because I concentrate on the problem.
Of course, exactly, because it's not really a problem. It's just been solved. It's just been solved. For the next 6 months, it's not a problem. He is not the problem, which means it was not a problem to start with. You just didn't have a big enough problem. True. The best way to solve a problem is to invent a new bigger problem.
So from the benefit of this, I gather that we need more problems, or we're not faced with that many problems. So we live in this blissful life, and then when one problem comes, we focus solely on that one.
Yeah, and then we make it complicated. We give it a name that we don't understand what it is. And we use a lot of words that sounds good and big. Excessive. Lack of. Like total nonsense, generality, yes?
Yeah, and it becomes such an easy issue.
Which makes it unsolvable.
Look, I mean, I must say that I've changed my mind a lot after this. This has only been 1 hour. It felt like 5 minutes. It was amazing. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to leave here changed, because I've been dealing with a lot of people, and my job is where I speak to a lot of men. A lot of men are broken. A lot of men even start crying. I mean, I know it's not ideal, but like they tell me their stories and stuff, and I feel for them. And then when having a similar experience, I tap into my empathetic self and feel what they feel. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know, I feel you, brother. But I think I should be more hard on people and tell them to man up and tell them not to.
Yeah, like, okay, fine. Let's say someone come to me and says, look, this has happened. Okay, good. So if you continue to say that you're a victim, will anything improve?
For them.
Yeah, like let's say you come to me and you say, I have a problem. And I say, okay. And what do you do? And you say, well, I'm very sad. If you'll continue to be sad, things will improve.
No, it won't.
No, good. Do you want to improve it?
Yeah.
Good. So if sad not going to improve it, why don't we try a different emotion?
Okay. What about can we do?
What about anger? Let's start with anger.
Okay.
Let's break something.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now it's better than being sad.
So it's similar to what Gal said. If I'm focusing on the relationship, and if I'm sad about the relationship and someone shoots me in the foot, I forgot about the relationship because I focus on the foot. So when you focus on the anger, you forget about sadness.
Yeah, it's just you more cause. Because now you decided, up to now, they cause you being sad.
Yeah.
Any emotion that you create is better than the emotion that they cause you, because 100%. You created it. Now I decided to be angry.
Okay.
And then if I decide to be angry, very quickly I will realize that, whatever it happened. So I'll become conservative.
Okay.
And very quickly I will realize this, actually, look, there's birds around and I'm healthy. And I have a family, and okay, so I can be enthusiastic about life. But one thing for sure, if this does not help, why should I continue to do that? Unless if I'm cuckoo, I'm insane, I have a mental disorder. A person that sad and continue to be sad, and he knows that sadness brings disaster, he's mentally ill. He is mentally ill, not the guy that he claimed that he's narcissistic.
100%.
And Azaad, what you need to do is now you have this, and you can show this to people that talk to you about that. People need to see this. Refer them to this video.
Yeah, because I think this can help a lot of survivors of narcissistic abuse over the years. I think if they see this video, they're going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel changed already, to be honest. And I came here to change. I didn't come here to put my viewpoints or say anything or preach anything. I just came to learn, and man, did I get schooled today. I'm so grateful. I'm absolutely grateful. And thank you all guys for watching in and everything.
Thank you. And
it's going to change my life now. When I walk out the store, I'm going to go out as a changed man, 100%. I'm humbled and I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. And
the key thing is instead of researching narcissistic abuse, do a research about how to become cause. Instead of putting time into ways to convince you that you are a victim, do a research on how to become cause. That will be much more cause
Cause.
Yes, because people will say like, oh, I'll do a research about narcissistic abuse.
Yeah.
Does it help me? No. If I know that he's narcissist, does it help me? No. So maybe I should do a research on how to become more cause.
Okay.
How to become
cause. What is
stronger.
meant by cause? Explain that just really quickly.
Okay, sorry.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
I was saying, maybe just explain quickly what is meant by how to become more cause. What do you mean?
Yes. It means that you, in any given moment, you can be, there is plus or minus in this universe. You can cause things, bring things about. So create your environment, create your today, create your tomorrow, or you can be the effect of yesterday, the effect of a narcissistic person. You can either be an effect of something or of cause. So if someone says, well, you know, I'm a victim of, I'm an effect. So a guy can be a victim of war and have no hands and no legs and cry all day. And I saw victims of war without hands and without legs that are more powerful, more successful than lots of people that blame other people of being narcissistics.
Okay.
It's just, do you want to be cause or do you want to cry? What do you prefer?
So I think, after this, you should definitely do some more videos on how to heal from a narcissistic relationship, because you give a totally different viewpoint that I didn't see and I didn't research on the internet in my time that I was, in the time that I researched. It's the complete opposite end of the spectrum, because all of the research that's out on YouTube teaches you literature about all of these things and what goes on and what it does to you. It actually makes you very sad, all of the research.
It tells you you're an effect.
Yeah,
you're an effect, you're an effect, you're an effect, you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim. It will take you many years to recover. No, and I said, nonsense. I will show you that you are cause, that you are spirit, that you are the most powerful thing in the universe. And on a gradient scale, you can move in a matter of days, weeks, to a point where you realize, the hell with the past. Who cares about the past? The past is not past if it didn't pass.
Yeah.
It's like the past is in the past, yes? So it's like people looking backward and trying to go forward, and they are wondering why they hit walls. Because you don't look.
Yeah.
Just blaming the person that built the wall.
Yes. Yes. It is. If you stop looking at the past and you look at what's in front of you, you will know where to go. You'll stop crying. Because why they cry? Because they hit walls, but they don't admit they hit walls because they look back.
I just want to add that a lot of people that have been making these videos on how to heal from narcissism have been doing this for the past 3 or 4 years. And what happens is they are actually stuck in the cycle. They haven't gotten over it. So they keep making these videos all the time to get over it, and what they say is that it keeps you in a cycle of torture. And that's what I mentioned yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know what? I actually take back a lot what I said yesterday. And I want to apologize to you for whatever I said that you didn't agree with.
Well done for you,
So,
that you can actually change your mind so fast. It's it's the biggest.
100%.
It means that you're a genius. It
Yeah.
means that you're a genius, because only geniuses can look at facts and say, okay, no problem.
No, really. I actually feel like an idiot.
I'm telling you, you're a genius, not an idiot. The opposite. Only a genius can look at the data and say, okay, fine, that's my new viewpoint from now on. And tomorrow I can change it. It's totally okay.
Yeah, correct. So what they do is that they keep you ruminating. They make you remember that, because they make you feel like as if you're a genius for remembering what happened, that you're doing a good thing by noticing all of the abuse that you went through. And as they describe it as, when you look back at your narcissistic relationship, it's like peeling back layers of an onion. And the more layers you peel off, the more tears you shed. They use this analogy. And when you think about that, you're like, yeah, I remember this. When this person said this, then that. So you remember all the triggers, but it's not making you heal. So this 1 hour session versus 6 months of research, like this 1 hour session just trumped the 6 months of research that I put. Boom, bang.
Amazing.
That's magic.
It's magic, yes. And think about it. For anything that happened, there was 2 viewpoints.
100%.
When someone tell you, look, only from your viewpoint, you get less than 50% of the truth.
Correct.
So you're dealing with lies. And then you said that they are pathological liars.
Yeah, correct. So I could be a pathological liar.
No, everyone. I told you, everyone is lying. The more you look at the past, the more you make decisions on the past, the worse you get, because you deal with lies. Why lies? Because you look 50% or at least maximum 50% of the truth, because for any situation there is at least 2 viewpoints. If you are Jewish, 50 viewpoint.
Angela asked, when is the next session, please?
Yes, every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we do different topics that are very relevant and powerful. So every Tuesday.
Gali, I have an idea. Gali, I have an idea. We'll do a series of webinar how to heal from a narcissistic relationship by becoming cause and stop crying.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
And we'll give the tissues. We will not sell tissues. There's no tissues.
Tissues not included in the fine print.
Tissues are not included because you don't need them anymore.
So what I'm going to do basically, and I'm going to end on this. What I'm doing tomorrow is I'm actually going to pick on the points that I said the day before, and I'm going to basically refute what I said, take back what I said with what I've learned today.
Amazing.
Because I'm afraid that I may have misled people what I said, so I want to rectify what I said.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I need to
powerful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone that was on. Sorry if we didn't read the messages, all of them, and so forth out loud, or answer every question. But this was really powerful. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, Azaad, for being so brave and amazing and coming on here. And thanks, everyone. That was really great.
Okay, Babale, I love you.
Okay, I love you. Bye, guys.